Welcome to Concordia on Air. I'm Michael.
And I'm Jackson. And tonight,
in news, a blizzard.
And in more news, how to not have dry hands.
on Arts and Entertainment, we talk all things The Flash.
Zoom. All that and more tonight on Concordia on Air. It feels so good to be back.
Mikey's back, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
He made it.
I'm happy to be here. But brr, am I cold.
Yeah? It
Woo-wee.
was winding last
Oh my
night.
gosh. I went on a nice little Valentine's date, and we went to the film and we got into the Fargo Theater at probably 6:30, and we left maybe 8 or 9-ish, and it was like the world had changed. It was like we were in a new place.
Apocalyptic white out.
Yes. Then we had to walk like 2 blocks to the car. Shout out to Hannah for walking 2 blocks in heels in a blizzard.
Why'd you park so far away?
There was no parking. It was Valentine's. Everyone was hyped to go do stuff downtown.
You always park on the little dark road just past Broadway.
I think
Just
we
past
parked.
the theater.
We parked like if you could pass through walls going straight out of the theater straight, then you'd find the car. But we had to go around.
Had to park there
It was
once.
no fun.
I didn't know about the secret parking spot one that time. But I'll show you the secret parking spot the next
You
time.
will now that we're not beefing
go.
anymore.
Yep.
Can we
Mikey
shake on
and
it?
Jackson on the town.
Guys, we're back. We're back. It's us.
We're back.
J&M, M&J. Michael Jackson is my Alex girl. Speaking of
Yes.
Maya is in the Himalayas this week. We are very excited for her. She's doing some meditation work.
With
Very excited.
airplanes.
Yep. Excited to see Maya come back a changed person. Fingers crossed. Maybe a little calmer. She's got that tiger.
You need it in Roku City.
Oh, you need it in Roku City.
Yeah.
What's the climate like here in Roku City? If you look behind us, you can see beautiful, dark
City.
city.
It looks less purple today.
Yeah, it's looking nice and normal blue.
Normal blue.
Not that scary cosmic purple.
Yeah.
How was the show last week? Did I miss anything crazy?
No?
Normal show?
No. The world sunk, I think. I don't know. I didn't watch it. So, yeah. I think that's all we've got for you today. So just like those Philadelphians rocked Philadelphia after they lost, get rocked by the news, I guess.
Welcome to news. I'm Brendan.
And I'm Andy. Blizzard conditions stranded dozens of drivers and forced officials to close several roads, including all I-29 in North Dakota, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, KVVR reported. Just after 8 p.m. Tuesday, I-94 was closed eastbound from Jamestown to Fergus Falls and westbound from Fergus Falls to Valley City. It reopened just before 10 a.m. Wednesday. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz declared a peacetime emergency and authorized the Minnesota National Guard to provide emergency relief services for stranded motorists in Clay County after the heavy snowfall and strong winds created blizzard conditions across the western and northwestern Minnesota. All roads and highways in North Dakota and Minnesota are now reopened.
Twitter Blue. Twitter Blue is a membership that you can get that will give you a little blue check mark by your name. Although this membership came out a few weeks ago, there are some new interesting features that it gives you rather than just there are some new interesting features that it gives you other than just a distinction between members and non-members. The subscription now allows you to send out longer tweets, and instead of being limited to 280 characters, users are now allowed to use 4,000 characters. This same increase in character count applies to quote tweets and replies. Some Twitter users are saying that this increase is too much, while others are just happy to be able to say more without having to create threads.
And more about the weather, there was a sign of relief this morning after the school announced the late opening of normal activities on campus through an email which partly read, "Due to severe weather, campus will open at 10 a.m." was good news, especially to students who had spent the whole night wondering how they would make it through the blizzard to their classes. Most of the students, however, said that they would have preferred if the email had been sent out last night, as they had woken up and went out, they were ready to start their classes. Concordia Streets was not the only one or the only school that suspended its activities for some time, as others around the Fargo-Moorhead area had shut completely for the day, including NDSU. Soon after 9:59 a.m., things went back to normal here at Concordia, and the campus streets saw students and faculty all headed for their respective activities.
New articles have been coming out detailing the different types of creams and lotions you should use for your dry hands. Since the humidity and moisture in the air is much lower in the winter, it leads to drier skin, and Minnesota is no stranger to cold weather. Although washing your hands frequently to avoid sickness and germs can also dry your hands out, so it's become more and more recommended to use moisturizers. According to Professor of Medicine at Wake Forest School of Medicine, Dr. William Hong, it is important to use thicker products as they create a protective barrier around the skin. So make sure to stock up on moisturizers to protect your skin from dryness of Minnesota winter weather.
And into more national news, the U.S. intelligence officials are assessing the possibility that the suspected Chinese spy balloon was not deliberately maneuvered into the continental U.S. by the Chinese government. Intel they are examining whether it was diverted off course by strong winds. Multiple people briefed on the intelligence told CNN. After the balloon lifted off from Hainan, China last month, U.S. officials monitored it as it made its way across the Pacific, sources said. After tracking down the balloon for a little while, officials believed it would head towards Guam, where it would probably try to surveil military sites on the island. And intelligence suggesting that the balloon's path into the U.S. may have been unintentional could ease the tensions between Washington and Beijing and may offer both countries a way out of what has become increasingly tense diplomatic crisis.
Michigan State University recently suffered from a shooting that claimed the lives of 3 students and wounded 5 others. One student, Emma Grace Riddle, had not only experienced the MSU shooting, but another at Oxford High School in southeastern Michigan on November 30th, 2021. On top of that, student Andrea Ferguson had also experienced another school shooting. In both cases, parents and friends are frustrated and upset that these students have had to witness 2 devastating situations. And now, a package from Concordia's Free Store.
The Free Store is an on-campus thrift store run by the Sustainability Office.
My name is Gabrielle Lummel. I am the Sustainability Coordinator at Concordia. So the Free Store is basically like a mini thrift store, but everything is free. So we have items from clothing, school supplies, kitchen items, shoes, winter clothes, things like that. So one of the main goals of the Free Store is to provide access to basic needs for students. So, you know, we don't want to have any barriers to students getting the things that they need. So that's kind of why everything's free.
The Free Store is open to all students and faculty. It is located in the Knutson Campus Center behind the MLK Center. It is open 24 hours.
My name is Yudin Dorji. I am the program intern for Sustainability Office, and I take care of the Free Store and the Living Wall. First of all, during the end of the year, we have Sustainable Move Out, and during that time we get a lot of donations, and that is really helpful because students are just not throwing things away and they're just donating it. So we are able to just take all the donations into the Free Store and just put it out there for students, and that donation actually goes away really fast from the Free Store because students actually take them. So in terms of that, is really helpful. And I'd say if you need to before going to buy anything from Target or Walmart, I'd say students should come check it out in the Free Store first, because most of the time the things you need are always there in the Free Store. most of the times, but not all the time.
There are bins for donations located all over campus for student and faculty convenience.
We have many options across campus. So we have a donation bin here. We have one in the library, one in the science building, one up by the Park Student Leadership Center, and then one in the business center. So we try to have bins all across campus for students and staff to donate to, and you can just bring anything and put it in the bins at any time of day.
Donate any of your unwanted items and visit the free store sometime soon.
Welcome back. That was a delightful little spot, wasn't it? A little new package. I am here with the wonderful, the delightful Miss Andy Katzenborg. Woo! How do you feel today?
I feel good.
That's good.
Long
I'm
time
glad
no
you're here.
see.
Yeah, God, it's been too long.
It's been a really long time.
We're here to talk about the Concordia band tour. I was there as well.
Yeah.
So this isn't really going to be like an interview, maybe more like a fireside chat to kind of let you guys know, you folks at home, what it was like to be in the Concordia band and go on tour. First, we should cover, you weren't just there as a student or as just a phenomenal clarinetist. You're also there as the nurse.
Yeah.
What'd that look like? What's that job look like for you?
A lot of people got sick. Like, a lot of people got sick. I think just, like, the stress of constantly playing and, I don't know, interacting with people. Like, people were just, their stomachs were hurting all the time. And, yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of sad. When you have to be on a tour for that long and you're, like, away from home and, you know, it's Monday and you're not going to be home till Saturday. But, yeah.
And the close proximity is what I was
Yeah.
thinking about that. We're on coach buses the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, some people choose to mask up, which honestly is a very smart decision given how close we are. COVID or not, just like anything, just in the air. What about the water polo situation?
Well, it wasn't as bad as last year. Last year, everybody's feet was like destroyed. Like all the Band-Aids were gone.
I remember that.
Post water polo, but this year it wasn't so bad.
We should explain. So most nights on tour, well, it's kind of a toss-up. Things have been changing in the past few years. Usually on tour, domestic tour, we spend the nights at homestays. So those are generous folks of the communities that we're stopping through. Let us come into their house. We sleep in their beds. We eat their food. But this past year, there was a bit more hotel action going on. And one night at the hotel, some folks decided to rip it up with some water polo. But it's okay because Andy was there.
It was there.
Did you put the did you put the Band-Aids
No,
on
I
yourself?
just said, here's the supplies. I don't really want to, like, we'll touch your feet if you want me to, but
Really? You,
nobody took me up in the offer, so it was fine.
we're getting off track. Is this your last tour? Do you have another one next year? You're flexing?
No, I'm Flexier, so I'm done after this one. Sad.
How did it feel? That last time, getting off the coach bus, last tour. Did it feel, for me, I felt as though this was like my fifth, well no, it was like my fourth or my third tour, but I've done this thing a lot now. I've done it. And I got off the bus and I felt like it was okay. I wasn't too tragically torn up that I wasn't going to do it again. Do you share that feelings, or you wish you could have another go at it?
Yeah, well, I mean, so last year was my like official senior year, and we finally got to go on tour again, and so I was just happy that I could do it more than once. You experience something once and you're like, oh, that was so fun, I want to do it again, and then I got to do it again, and I'm really blessed that, Concordia is offering the Flex year and that, I was able to take it one more spin, and yeah, it was really fun. I was really ready to be back. I was really ready for no week of band.
Oh, that's the best part. Shout out to all the band folks watching. Hi, band folks.
Kenny.
Hi, Kenneth.
I wonder if Kenny is watching.
Oh, it's great. Usually at this time, we are in band. So we have this week off. We come home from tour, we have the week off. That's why Andy can be here. I'm here, normally you guys see me all the time, but Andy's here. And hopefully watching at home, we have some other band folks.
There's no attendance meeting today, so.
Yeah, there will not be an attendance meeting.
You don't have to clap.
Yeah.
Well, you can clap, but there's not an attendance meeting.
Woo! What else? Any highlights of tour that you want to talk about?
I don't know. I just like meeting new people. Like I feel like every time I go on tour, I choose to like room with different groups of people, just because it's such a great way to like really get to know other people in the band that you don't know before you leave. So I'm just really glad that I got to meet so many other people, and we still have like a few months left where we get to still hang out, maybe outside of band, and yeah, it was a
little
really
more band
precious time with a really great group of people.
Yeah. All right. I think that we should sing the thank you song for the people at home for watching this interview. What do you think, Andy? What are you gonna say? No on chord on there?
What if I said no?
Then I would sing it alone. Then I'd sing it alone.
Okay.
You want me to sing it alone? Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. We thank you for the dinner and for your friendship too. We hope that you will join us as much as we have you. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. And if you like our music, we hope that you will say a good word for Concordia as we go on our way. C-O-N-C-O-N-D-I-A. Concordia. Concordia. Roll Cobbers. And on to Andy with Jackson.
Mikey told me he got struck by lightning while he was on band tour and now has the powers of the Flash. So we're going to test that theory by counting how long it takes to get here. Whoa! He's got superpowers, everybody. He just ran the 2 miles in like, what was that, a minute? Can you do that at home?
I'm a widowy so quick.
Yeah. So while he's kind of getting remiked and whatnot, I'll explain what we're talking about on the show. The much anticipated question mark reset to whatever Warner Brothers' great experiment in
Of the DC universe.
comic book movie world building is. It's coming out.
Who's directing this? You got to remind me.
Andy Muschietti, director of the last 2 It films. The
liked
first one that
those.
was really good, and the second one that was based off of a bad part of the book, but still an enjoyable picture.
I like the second one more than the first one. Let the record state. Yeah.
Mikey has a contrarian opinion.
So it's not James Gunn.
It's not James Gunn, but James Gunn did call it the greatest DC movie he's seen since Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. Now,
That's a steep thing to say.
yes, many critics have said the same thing about Shazam, Aquaman.
Okay.
Shazam, depending on who you are, maybe. Aquaman, that's a little generous.
Yeah. I would say so.
But James Gunn, there's nothing in this movie that is like, James Gunn's not attached to this movie. If this movie flops, that's better for James Gunn's plan. Why is he out here saying...
Saying it's phenomenal?
Yeah, so
Maybe
it
he
must be
maybe he
great.
genuinely wants the IP to survive and do well.
So, little thing about me, my favorite superhero is the Flash. And I have been openly critical of Ezra Miller as the character since I was but a small child. Like, that's not Grant Gustin. Because a little flashback to 2014.
I missed my cue.
Ezra Miller was announced to play the Flash
Yep.
a week after the Grant Gustin led television show started airing. So
It was that close?
Yes. Which, another great thing, by the time that this movie comes out, the first solo Flash film, the Flash series, will be coming to a close.
That is crazy.
A
that it
bit
took
of
him that. Well, I mean,
bookending.
from like a marketing thing, I guess it kind of makes sense if they're
Yeah.
going to rack on, they're not going to put too much effort. Because for me, the Flash is like a really important DC character, but that doesn't really translate it into normal media. Because this is crazy to think this is our first solo Flash non-animated film.
Now to address the elephant in the room. All 3 of these character posters are phenomenal.
God.
I would love to hang up one of these, one of my favorite superheroes, on my bedroom wall.
Even if it is Ezra.
But there is a black stain on that poster, a stain that we have to address. Ezra Miller, a criminal.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Ezra Miller controversy?
I saw the trailer for this film 2 days ago.
Yes.
Not very long ago. And I haven't really kept up with very recent Ezra Miller news, but I saw the trailer and I saw Ezra Miller's face and I went, they're still in a movie? They're still doing movies? Which you've now since told me that filming happened quite a while ago. But the fact that they're releasing it still.
Yes, for people that don't know at home, Ezra Miller is associated with multiple crimes, multiple kidnappings.
Like bad crimes, not like...
break-ins, transporting guns, drugs, and children across
minors.
state lines.
Yep.
Lots of crimes that any other person would be put in prison for a very long period of time. But Ezra Miller is the star of a very expensive movie project from a studio that desperately needs that money or that movie to be successful in order for it to fund its further ventures. Ezra Miller is playing two major characters in this film. They're playing The Flash and The Flash 2.
I mean, if you're thinking of a situation where you've got an actor or an actress in your film that shot previous to crimes being committed, it's really, really bad luck and it really, really sucks when you have one of them. But when that actor is playing two roles in your film, harder. That double hurts.
Because that means instead of just reshooting potential scenes where you have this guy, Michael Keaton, a very expensive actor, you can't just call Michael Keaton back and be like, hey, Mikey, we need you again. So that person you shot your superhero scenes with, The Flash, turns out they're not a great person and we need to get a new one. Can you come back for us?
Yeah.
Come on down to London.
I think you got the wrong number. I think you're trying to ring Michael Keaton. You got me here. Beep, beep, beep. Sorry. That's Kevin, what'd you think of that joke? Aye.
The Bacon loves it. He hates Michael Keaton.
He hates Michael Keaton.
Stole multiple roles from him or something.
Yeah, I can understand from a team point of view, a financial point of view, let's put this movie out there still, let's run it. But morally?
There's a lot of, it's a tough thing because does one person's actions undo the work of the great Sasha Calle, who is making her breakout performance in Supergirl? Mm-hmm. She was a soap opera star before gaining the role of Supergirl. There is potential that she'll continue in the new universe. Does this person's actions rob us from seeing whatever Calle has to offer? Does it rob us from what the crew spent months and months working on? There's a lot of gray area of what you can do, and marketing the movie is obviously very tough because people are going to learn about Ezra Miller and they're going to be like, I don't believe that this person could be a superhero.
I hadn't even thought of that. People that are unaware of the Ezra Miller situation that are going to become aware now because of the release of this film and the marketing that's happening for it.
Kids are going to be looking up to The Flash. Are parents going to want to take their children to movies where the lead, who is a hero, is also openly kidnapping children and doing other things that...
A villain in the real world.
A real-life villain. All I can say is I'll be excited whenever HBO Max releases their true crime docuseries, Chasing the Flash, about the FBI's manhunt for Ezra Miller. And hopefully you are just as excited for us coming back next week as I am for that.
I'm glad to be back. We'll see you all next week. Thank you.